Welcome to this game between MSGD and Dell Technologies, both teams vying for the top spot in the competition. MSGD currently the table toppers, having won all 4 of their games. Dell Technologies have lost their last match against 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. It'll be an interesting match this, because both teams sure are looking for that top spot. If Dell win, they're most likely to go on top. If MSGD win, then they'll remain victorious throughout this tournament. The only team in this tournament to have not lost a game, Microsoft Global Development. MSGD won the toss, elected to bat. Ramesh and Naveen opening the batting for MSGD. Looks like it's going to be Sridhar who will open the bowling attack for Dell Technologies. Sridhar has picked up 244 wickets in his 220 games. Ramesh is a prolific run scorer, 2,566 runs in his 93 matches. Naveen on the other end, 5,900 runs in his 349 matches. So both batsmen done really well, scored a lot of runs. Starts off with a wide outside the off stump. Sridhar bowling from the media box end. Wonderfully well bowled. Played straight towards the fielder at mid-off. Thinks that Sydney, the captain of the Dell Technologies team, he can't stop the single. MSGD will want to put on a big score. The kind of ground which supports big scores. Play and a miss outside the off stump. That was very close, very tight. Play and a miss again, right the off stump. 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃, the man with the gloves behind the stumps. But a really good pair of hands, 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃. Flared outside the off stump. An opportunity for run out goes begging. There were 2 stabs at that. Wild throw from Sridhar in the end. The batsman had flipped, so much action happening there. The striker cut that straight to the point fielder, made an acrobatic effort to stop that, threw it back to the bowler's end, unfortunately not to the keeper's end. The batsman had flipped. The bowler had all the time in the world to throw that to 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃, but he threw it really widely and 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃 not able to get across and collect that. So in the end, a single conceded, and Dell lose out on an early opportunity to break that partnership between Ramesh and Naveen. It's all happening out here. Play and a miss again outside the off stump. 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃 thinks that was very close. Sydney making a change to the field. Third man fielder after coming to the circle, and Sydney moves back towards long off himself. Wants to protect the boundary of the last ball. The only 2 fielders outside the circle, a deep cover point and a deep long off. Play and a miss again outside the off stump. The end of the first over from Sridhar. Just 3 runs conceded. Very good over from Sridhar. Almost had that run out opportunity as well. It's not for that poor throw from himself. Nevertheless, MSGD 3 runs, loss of no wickets at the end of the first over. Sydney looks like it's going to bowl along with Sridhar. Sydney comes into bowl. Phenomenal stats for him. 489 matches for 643 wickets. Yes, you heard that right. 643 wickets. So he's picking up almost a wicket and a half every game. Phenomenal stat from Sydney. Full ball. Burst through the cover fingers. Not sure if he got any hand on that. That was very, very close. That fielder in an aggressive position. Credit to the batter. Chose to go with that shot. Sydney had bowled it full, tried the off stump, gave him the opportunity to throw his arms. He did. Once again, threw it up full outside the off stump, asking the batsman to go for it. Take another look at that replay. Fingertips, I think. Not sure if he managed to get any fingers on that, but that was mighty close. In a miss again outside the off stump. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗵𝗃 looking all at sea. Looked good when the ball was floated up. But once Sydney pulled the length back a tad bit, 𝗵𝗃 seems to be struggling a little bit there. This is the game to watch in this tournament so far. Battle between the top 2 sides. MSGD have been undefeated so far in all 4 of their games. DELL have just lost their last match to 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃, I think. Appeal there for caught behind. I think that was hit straight into the ground. If DELL win today, they have a chance, or they're very likely. Yeah, in fact, they definitely will go to the top of the table because they have a better run rate than MSGD. So if DELL Technologies win, they move to the top of the table. If MSGD win, they stay on top. Short ball! Seemed like nobody was interested in going for that. Sydney can't believe it. He has his arms on his waist. Very lucky there, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃. I think there may have been an opportunity for the wicketkeeper and maybe for Sydney himself to go for that. Take another look at that in the replay. In the air, you see there Shaukat very slow to react on that occasion. Maybe if he had gone a little bit early, he would have had a chance at that. Sometimes it takes the wicketkeeper just a second to identify which way the ball has gone. What a good stroke that is. Wonderfully struck by Ramesh. Just using the bowler's pace, helping the ball go past the bowler. The second boundary of the over. So 12 runs at the end of the first 2 overs. Erring in line on that occasion, Sydney. Just bowling a tad bit into the stumps, and credit to the batter, Ramesh, who was onto it in a flash. Just helped the ball on its way, past the bowler, beat the mid-on fielder who had no chance. Ball goes beyond the boundary. 12 for none at the end of the first 2 overs. And Sridhar will come back to bowl his second over to 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Starts off with a length ball outside the off stump. Sydney throws down the stumps. I think that is going to be touch and go. I think that is out. I definitely think that is super close. I think the batsman is struggling here. I think the bat was grounded just a second after the ball must have hit the bail. We'll take a look whether or not that's the case. Can take a look at that. The ball hitting the stumps, the bail goes off, and that's a second after that is when the batsman puts his bat down into the crease. So wonderful cricket this from Dell Technologies. Sydney in full flow there, collecting that ball underarm, collecting it cleanly, letting it go in one action. Got enough of the stump to dislodge the bail, and Naveen is sent packing. So uncanny this the game of cricket. The fielder hits the stumps directly, invariably ends up getting the run-out decision in his favor. That's exactly what Sydney does on that occasion. Great result for Dell Technologies. The first figure on the board for them. Virendra Singh, the new batter, out in the middle on the non-strikers end. Play no miss outside the off stump. That's terrific bowling by Sridhar. Wow. He has that ball on a string. He's bowled 8 balls in this spell so far, apart from the first wide that he had bowled. Every ball has been on the money from Sridhar. Terrific effort this from him. Virendra Singh, the new batter at the non-strikers end. 1,500 runs in 58 matches at an average of 33 almost. Wonderful stats that. An appeal for leg before. Umpire very quickly to turn from that. Probably means that was going down the leg, and then there's an overthrow, or at least 2 of them, I think. Of the fielder at mid-on, not moved across to back up that throw coming in from the point region. They get 2 bonus runs there. For 3 leg byes. It won't go against Sridhar, but they'll reflect on the scoreboard nevertheless. 15 for 1 now. And that brings Virendra on strike. Virendra Singh. Tall, well-built, broad-shouldered batter. Just got a little bit over that ball. Ended up under-edging it to the wicket-keeper. Cut powerfully this time, between the gap. Point and gully fielders can't get around to stop that. Fielder at third man runs around. Keeps it down to 2. That's a good stroke from Virendra, square of the wicket. Getting the room, getting the length to move on the back foot and cut that between that non-existent gap. Very tight feel on the offside. Slip, point, gully, deep cover point, covers and mid-off. The deep cover point coming into the circle, no, going back again. Change of mind. So third man comes back into the circle, long off drops back. Sydney goes back from mid-off to long off. Cover point stays. Wonderfully bowled and well played as well by Virendra. Waiting for any movement, negating that and just opening the face of the bat towards the point fielder for a single. The end of the first 3 overs, the score moves on to 18 runs. the loss of 1 wicket. Sydney coming back, banging it on the length. This time Virendra defends. On the length again, nudge towards square leg. It was almost a catching opportunity. Fielder again seemed a little bit relaxed. Sydney not happy. You can see there the double teapot on display from Sydney. He thinks he should have had 2 wickets by now. Unfortunately, on that occasion for him, the fielder not quick to react. Also, wild throw from the square leg fielder. Luckily, the point fielder was awake to that throw, because that was way over Shauqat's head. Well bowled and well played again. Adjusted, just got the inside edge towards mid wicket for a single. Sydney's created 2 half chances so far in this innings. Fortunately for him, none of them going to the fielder's hand. He's conceded 11 runs already of his 9 balls. Beautifully hit by Virendra. That was full, drifting into the pads, and Virendra takes full toll, keeps his balance, just nudges it in the gap to perfection between mid-on and square leg. Empty mid-wicket region, acre for space there, and the ball just trudges along the surface for a wonderful boundary. This is good action-packed cricket from both teams. Dell throws a punch, MSGD comes back and hits another. Really, really good quality cricket that we're observing here at the MPS cricket ground. In the air, over the fielder at cover. The fielder at deep cover runs around. He can't stop the second. So 2 more runs added to the score. So Sydney, in pursuit of a wicket, is trying to bowl full. He's trying to get the ball to swing. I think there's very little swing on offer now. The white ball hardly tends to swing after the first couple of overs. And MSGD taking full toll of every opportunity. Once again, delectable stroke that just nudged it off his pads. On the midfield, runs the second one. You can see there Sydney is not happy at all. Nothing he can do about that. The end of the 4th over, the score has moved on to 28 runs now, 7 runs and over. MSGD moving along at a good pace now. Won the toss, chose to bat. I'm sure they would have wanted a few more runs. But Sridhar has been bowling well from one end, keeping things tight. Looks like he's going to continue. Interesting stage this game at. I think the next couple of overs will decide which way the momentum of this match is going to go towards. Virendra looked in, good touch. He's batting on 12 now of 8 balls. He's hit 2 beautiful boundaries. In fact, 1 boundary on the leg side, and then the others were couples that he had hit. 1 on the off side, 1 on the leg side. Ramesh now on strike against Sridhar. Hits it in the air again. Sydney runs around from long off. Keeps it down to a single. Ramesh looking really good. That was a good shot down the ground. Virendra batting on 12 of 8 now will face Sridhar. Putting right arm over the wicket. So in his third over, he's conceded 7 runs of his first 13 balls. On a length, outside the off stump, Virendra respectfully placed that towards cover and runs across for a single. Good cricket there from Virendra. Wide outside the off stump on that occasion, and the umpire obliges by raising his arms, calling it a wide. This time off the pads, once again an appeal for leg before. The umpire not interested, because looks like he had got some bat on that. No signal from the umpire. Just moved across, helped the ball on its way. Flowing stroke for another boundary. This is really good cricket from Virendra. He's playing risk-free cricket to get his results. He's now batting on 17 runs of just 10 balls. Wonderful batting from Virendra. Fielder at cover's position walks in closer to the batter. Courtesy of that movement, he's able to cut off that single. Last ball of the 5th over coming up now. 8 runs of this over from Sridhar already. A wild slog. Was outside the off stump, but he wanted to drill that in the mid-wicket region, Sridhar. The end of the over, the score moves to 36 for 1 at the end of 5 overs, 7.2 the current run rate. Kind of start that I think both teams will be happy with. DELL would probably want another wicket here. MSGD would have wanted maybe 10 more runs on the board at the moment. So it's a kind of score that both teams will feel content with, if not happy. 𝗀𝗃𝗵 into the attack now. 171 matches for his 95 wickets. Economy of 7.7. Running into ball to Ramesh. Ramesh lets that one go, and the umpire stretches his arms, calls for the wide. It's been almost like the pattern today. Bowler comes in, bowls the first ball, and bowls the wide outside the off stump. under edge that occasion, goes to the fielder at point. No runs. Sudhir bowling with a fame field, a fielder on the cover point boundary and the long off boundary. Those are his two fielders outside the circle. And then they have a ring field inside the circle, a short third man, point, covers. What a good stroke that is, straight down the ground. Beautifully hit by Ramesh. Didn't look like he made an effort in that stroke at all. Just timing all the way. Just lofted at the ball in the air. The bowler's pace did the business for the batter there. Wonderful stroke from Ramesh. Once again full. Once again a flowing drive in the cover region. That's wonderful fielding from Sydney. That's a boundary stop for sure. Terrific fielding effort from the captain. We've already inflicted one run out earlier today, Sydney. And then on that occasion, did brilliantly to move across the field, collect that ball on the bounce. Just his left hand, which is his non-bowling hand, kept it down to just one. That brings Virendra back on strike again. Wanted to go after that, thought about it for a little while and then let it go in the end. Another wide. This has been an expensive over already. Seven runs of the first three balls from Sridhar. Short ball, helped on its way by Virendra. What a wonderful stroke that was. Calypso style. Just rocked back on one foot and helped the ball on its way over the square leg region. We'll take a look at that on the replay. Beautiful footwork that you can see that just bouncing on one foot, rocking back and helping the ball on its way. No nonsense cricket from Virendra. You bowl it in a hittable region and I'm going to hit it every single time. That's his message, loud and clear to the bowlers. 47 for 1 now of 5.1 overs, 5.4 overs. 11 runs already this over. How much more can MSGD extract from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗧's first over here? Short and wide, played it towards the point region. The fielder in the deep runs around and he keeps it down to 2. A poor throw from the deep. That was 2 runs all day long. 49 for 1 now. It's the last ball of the power play coming up. This is now looking like a very good score from the MSGD team. They've now scored at over 8 runs and over. Short ball again, guided towards the fielder at point. They decide against the single. So 13 runs of that first over from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗧. MSGD move on to 49 for 1 at the end of the power play. Virendra batting on 23 of 15 and Ramesh batting on 13 of 12. Both batters looking in good touch now. Hemant into the attack now. He's playing his 8th match. Not a lot of experience behind Hemant. He'll be bowling over the wicket, and Ramesh will be facing. Sit straight back to the bowler. In the air, Sydney runs around it and drops it in the end. For the first blemish in the field for Dell. That was extremely catchable. It was in the air for a long time. It hung there. Sydney ran around, got into a comfortable position, but in the end, the ball too far away from his body, bursting through his arms. Sydney will be very disappointed with that effort. Virendra just nudges that for a single towards the bowler. Virendra looked really calm and composed, scoring at a very good clip, but he hasn't looked like he's out there to play aggressive cricket. He's just playing to the merit of each ball, putting the bad balls away. Not too much of a fuss about his batting today, Virendra. Ramesh goes for the big one again, plays and misses. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 does not collect that cleanly, but keeps the ball. Between all of that drama, the 50 has been brought up. 50 up for MSGD. Hit towards mid-wicket for a single again. The last ball of the 7th over coming up. Okay, the umpires have asked for a referral. Check whether or not that ball was a no ball. I don't think it was, but we'll take another look. So not a no ball, that was comfortably below waist height. For the last ball of the 7th over coming up now, 52 for 1. Outside the off stump, lets that one go. Once again, 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 does not do a clean job of collecting that, but stops that from going through. So 7 overs bowled, 52 for 1 the score. The current run rate, just about 7.3 runs an over. So Hemant bowling a good tight over there, just 3 runs conceded of the first over. He got lucky on the penultimate ball of that over, bowled a full toss, but Ramesh was not able to take full toll. He was also unlucky in that over, Hemant, because he did create a wicket-taking opportunity on his first ball that Sydney was not able to hold on to, unfortunately, for DELL Technologies. And that means MSGD are now batting at 52 for 1. DELL definitely look like a depleted team in terms of the bowling attack this time round. Sunil Kumar, who's one of their very important performers, is currently missing from the side. That brings Prasad Madana into the attack. Prasad, a lot of experience, 390 wickets in a 440 games. Plays that towards mid-wicket for a single. Tall, lanky off-spinner Prasad gives the ball flight. Not too much flight, but just occasionally hangs it out there in the middle. And he'll now be bowling to Virendra, who's batting really well, 24 of 17 for Virendra. Goes down, plays the gap in the cover region. The fielder at deep covers, stuffs the fielding, keeps it down to a single. Here the call from the fielders there. They're asking the fielders in the deep to throw the ball flat. It's a breezy, windy day out there. You can see that in the middle, the trees are fluttering. The players' jerseys as well. This time, Virendra have advanced, hit it in the air, straight towards the fielder at long on, who can't hold on to it, and the ball goes over the boundary rope. We'll take another look to check whether that's 6 or not. I think it is a 6. If the umpire confirms that by raising his arms. I definitely think that was catchable on the boundary rope. Let's take another look at that. Not get to the pitch of the ball, in the end up extending his shoulders. Just burst through the fielder's arms there. So good comeback from Prasad. Fire it in slightly shorter. A dot ball. So another opportunity goes begging for Dell. Goes again, but this time it's a clear connection. Wonderfully hit by Virendra. A long, long way beyond the boundary. No doubt about that one. Advances. Trusts his footwork. Advances down the leg so that he creates that angle for himself to loft that ball over the mid-on region and hits it beautifully over the fielder for another 6. So very, very good cricket stroke from 𝗵𝗡𝗃 on that occasion, not Virendra. My apologies. 𝗵𝗡𝗃 hitting both of those 6s. Cut off the back foot this time. The fielder in the deep at covers does the fielding. Keeps it down to a single. So very productive over that for the batting team. 15 runs came of it. The end of 8 overs, the score moves on to 67 for 1. Virendra batting on 25 of 18. 𝗵𝗡𝗃 batting on 29 of 21. Both batsmen striking at almost 140 runs per 100 balls. So both batters well set. MSGD look like very well settled at the moment. They'll really need to find a way to come back and create a breakthrough. The worrying find for Dell is that Sydney has looked ineffective in the first 2 overs that he's bowled. Sridhar have already bowled out his 3 overs. So they will want folks like 𝗙𝗃𝗃, Prasad Madana, and Hemant to step up and do well with the bowling today. Change in field now. Starts off with a wide outside the off stump. Interesting field there in the deep. A long off followed by a very, very straightish cover. It's almost like they have 2 long offs in position. Prasad and Sydney trolling that region. And he hits it straight towards Sydney. That'll take a couple of bounces into Sydney's palms. Just a single. Fired into the stumps on that occasion, maybe just a tad bit down the leg side, but full. And Hemant not able to get that one away. Virendra string is on strike, 25 of 19. Outside half of the bat, just evades the fielder at point. The fielder at gully runs behind. Does well to stop that and keeps that down to 2. And was well bowled by Hemant, but Virendra also adjusted pretty valiantly there. Managed to squeeze it over the point fielder for a single. In fact, for a double, not a single. 2 runs on that occasion. Full toss, and this time Virendra flashed onto it. Hit it powerfully out of the ground for a 6. What a good shot that is. Once again, the umpire wants to take another look at that. No ball signaled eventually, the ball a tad bit above the waist height, and Virendra taking full control of that. So free hit is on offer here. Advances, hits it towards mid wicket, the fielder in the deep, does not collect it cleanly, but just a single. So Hemant got away with the full toss in the last over, but not getting away with on this occasion. Virendra moves on to 34 of 22. Another full ball, this time a low full toss that's hit towards the mid wicket fielder for a single. Score for MSGD is rollicking now, 80 for 1 of 8.5 overs, almost going at 9 runs and over. Beautifully played towards covers. The run through for a single with the fielder going back. $81 for 1 at the end of 9 overs, exactly 9 runs and over at the minute. Quick drink there for Virendra. Ramesh also rushing in to join him to enjoy that sip of water. 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, ball in hand now for Dell Technologies. 16 matches for his 8 wickets. Looks like a very inexperienced bowling lineup today for Dell Technologies. Looks like he's going to start from around the wicket if he were not sure if he's a right armer or if a left armer, so that's over the wicket for him. No, right armer, around the wicket, yes. Another catching opportunity of the first ball, another one that Sydney lets go through his arms. That was a simple catching opportunity for 2 down now for Sydney. He raises his arms up in apology, but really that should have been taken. Virendra has been batting so well out there. Had served him himself on a platter, but Sydney not able to take that. Another one that hit to Sydney. Sydney not looking very comfortable out there right now. He's taking his eyes away from the ball at the last minute. It's one of those days where the ball keeps chasing you in the field. Also, Sydney's placing himself in a very, very attacking position. When you're at long off, you have to expect the ball to come to you almost every ball. That was really a simple chance that should have been taken. Another one that's hit in the air, another one that's going towards Sydney, but this time way over his head. So Virendra rubbing salt to injury. What a good shot that was, just hitting through the line of the ball, over the fielder's head at long off. Beautiful looking 6. That takes the score to 89 for 1. Virendra is now in a 40, 42 of 25. Full outside the off stump, appeal for caught behind, umpire raised his finger. What a good catch that is from 𝗃𝗏𝗃. Terrific wicket keeping this. Standing up to the stumps, it's never easy. Virendra had gone for it full Monty. So that was a sharp take from 𝗃𝗏𝗃 behind the stumps. Excellent wicket keeping, bringing in that dismissal. So luckily for Dell, that drop catch from Sydney, not catching them, not costing them a lot. Virendra is dismissed. We'll take another look at that replay to absorb that brilliant catch from 𝗃𝗏𝗃. take another look at that replay. Ball was almost wide. He went for it. The thinnest of outside edges. And 𝘃𝗿 in the right position to catch that. Wonderful wicket keeping once again. 89 for 2 now. MSGD. Again, the kind of score that I think MSGD will be slightly the happier fight between the two. Maybe 55-45 into MSGD's favour at the moment. But DELL Technology is picking up that wicket at a very important time because Virendra was looking really good out there. The new batter out in the middle of Himanshu. Terrific stats for him. 436 matches. 10,841 runs. So that's a lot of runs from Himanshu. Average of 32 almost. Strike rate of 146. With terrific stats. If we can replicate that performance, we are going to get a big score here today for our MSGD. 𝗏𝗏 has picked up a wicket in his first over. Remember, he had Virendra dropped off his first ball by Sydney. Full into the stumps, just nudged towards mid-wicket for a single. Good intelligent batting from Himanshu. Last ball of the 10th over coming up. 90 for 2. Very important delivery in the context of this game. Full, low, driven pass back the bowler. Straight towards Sydney. Keeps it down to a single. 91 for 2 at the end of 10 overs. Kind of score that both teams will be happy with. We know that this is a high scoring ground. The typical score range is here between 180 and 190. So at the moment, MSGD is going at par. Still have not held on to their chances effectively today. In spite of that, they managed to pick up 2 wickets, one courtesy a run out, one courtesy that terrific catch from Sydney, from 𝘃𝗿 standing up to the stumps. Virendra came in, struck a few lusty blows, looked extremely good while he was batting out there. Ramesh also seems to be going now, struck a couple of big sixers in the last over that he faced. The match is in the balance. At the 10 over point, 91 for 2. Very interesting to see what happens in the second half of this first innings. Find out in about a couple of minutes' time when the action begins. Starts off with a shortish ball on the stumps. Just a single towards the fielder at square leg. Hemant continuing bowling attack. He's bowling his third over. He's gone for 17 runs of the first 2 overs that he's bowled. It's been unfortunate as well. Remember that there was a catch put down. Sydney had dropped Ramesh, I think. And driven towards the point fielder in the deep. Just a single. Full toss on the legs. It's hit towards the fielder at mid-wicket, who does really well. Judges it to perfection on the bounce. Stops the ball from going beyond the boundary and keeps it down to a single. So that's terrific work from that fielder. Not sure who that is. Seems like Sydney, but I can't be sure. Played towards long on this occasion. Sridhar, the fielder, running there. Keeps it down to a single and bowls it back to the fielder. Hit towards long on in the deep. Just a single. Outside half of the bat. Very lucky Himanshu on that occasion that the ball went on the bounce to the fielder at short third man. Just a little bit more bat on that and that would have carried to Himanshu. The end of the over, a good tight over that from Hemant. Just 5 runs coming off it. 96 for 2 at the end of 11 overs now. Discussion between Shaukat and Sydney. Sydney fielding at long off again. Himanshu is the batter. The non-striker's end. And Ramesh, the batter at the striker's end, batting on 36 of 28. Looks like it's going to be 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 to continue with the ball in hand. The second over. Short ball on a length. It's straight towards the fielder at deep extra cover. Just a single. Change in field for the new batter. So extra cover comes into the circle and third man goes back. Hits it straight towards that fielder at extra cover. No run is on offer. Tries to go big inside of the bat towards mid wicket. A couple of misfields there. Results in the second run for the batting team. 99 for 2 now of 11.3. Quick check by the umpire for short run. We'll take a look. Bat was comfortably placed beyond the popping crease. So 2 runs added to the score. 99 for 2. 11.3 overs. Oh, that was almost hit back to the bowler there. In the air this time, over the fielder at extra cover. Boundary that brings up the 100 for MSGD. 103 for 2 of 11.5 overs. Wonderful stroke from Himanshu on that occasion. Again into the stumps but drilled back towards long on for a single. The umpire has called that a no ball. The umpire signaled a no ball, so that will be followed by a free hit. Maybe the bowler overstepped on that occasion. Yes, definitely did. Confirmed by the replay there. Long way over the popping crease. DELL can ill afford these extra balls. That's straight towards the extra cover fielder in the deep. Just a single. The end of 12 overs, the score has moved on to 106 for 2. Prasad looks like he's coming back into the attack. He's gone for 15 of his first over. Ramesh had taken a liking to him, hit him for 2 big sixes in the first over. Interesting to see how Himanshu approaches Prasad Madana. Beautifully played towards mid wicket for a single. Round arm action on that occasion, fired it in. Fielder right extra cover, keeps it down to a single. Beautifully bowled outside the off stump, floated it in the air. Himanshu, unsure about what to do with that, lets it go to the wicketkeeper's gloves. The fielder at point there, making a mess of a straightforward fielding opportunity, concedes the single. Last ball of the 13th over coming up now. Once again, round arm action, but this time just too far wide. The umpire stretches his arms, calls for the wide. Dell can ill afford these extras, so the score now moves on to Nelson, 111 for 2. Last ball of the 13th over coming up. He goes for the big one, misses it. Shocker demolishes the bails, but no appeal there for a stumping. The end of the 13th over, the score remains at 111. The run rate dropping now slightly to about 8.5 runs an over. Remember, we were at 91 for 2 at the end of 10 overs. So from 9.1 runs an over, the run rate has dipped slightly to about 8.5 runs an over. For the last 3 overs, I think they'll have managed to get grip back onto the game. MSGD in a phase where they're consolidating. Himanshu, the new batter, out in the middle, 12 of 12. Ramesh batting on 40 of 33. So new bowler into the attack. Diva, 349 matches for his 200 wickets. Starts off with a full ball outside the off stump. Slid towards the extra cover boundary. Point boundary rather. Wonderful stroke from Himanshu to welcome Diva into the bowling attack. Another full one in the air. This time goes on a couple of bounces to the fielder in the deep. Deep extra cover. Keeps it down to a single. Ramesh facing Diva. I think this is going to be very interesting. I'm sure Ramesh is going to target the long on and the mid-wicket region. Interesting to see what Diva does. Does he fire it in or does he float it in the air? Will he have the courage? Yes, he flighted it. He's picked it straight towards long on. Sridhar runs in and takes a comfortable catch. It was on the cards. I called it. So half as expected. Ramesh was waiting, ticking to go. He's played his hand well. 40 runs of 34 balls, but Diva comes into the attack and picks up a wicket. Courtesy a good catch by Sridhar on the boundary. The way that Diva was bowling, I was sure that Ramesh was going to go for it. He did. Picked up the fielder to perfection. See there, advancing down the pitch, hitting it, just not getting the meat of the bat. Sridhar holds on to a good catch in the deep. So Ramesh, the second batsman for MSGD, dismissed in his 40s. And Hiten, the new batsman who walks out to join Himanshu. Hiten has scored exactly 1,000 runs in his 75 matches, average of 18.5 and a strike rate of almost 130. Himanshu batting on 17 of 14. Inside half of the bat towards mid-wicket, but just a single. Off the back foot, wanted to play that towards mid-wicket, but that was too far outside the off stump. Ended up hitting it towards covers for a single. Last ball of the 14th over coming up now. Cut. Fielder in the deep at cover point. Keeps it down to a single. So the end of the over. Successful over for DELL. Score moves on to 119 for 3. 8 runs in that over. But more importantly, the wicket of Ramesh being picked. Starts off with a wide down the leg side. Shocker seems excited. The umpire says no. Plays it towards the mid-wicket region. The fielder runs around. Keeps it down to 2. Cut off the back foot towards point. No run on offer. Dot ball outside the off stump. In the deep towards long off. Just a single again. Punched off the back foot. Fielder in the deep does really well to cut that. Keeps it down to a single. Fantastic work from the deep cover fielder there. A good phase of cricket for Dell Technologies. They've managed to curb the run rate. Also picked up a wicket, 124 for 3. This time if launched into it, the ball is travelling in the deep over the long on fielder for a 6. Wonderful stroke that from Hiten. The end of the 15th over, 130 for 3. 39 runs of the last 5 overs. Hit it in the air towards the gap between mid-wicket and long on. Wonderful stroke that. A very important boundary for Himanshu. That was the first ball of the last phase of this innings, the last 5 overs coming up. It's important that MSGD maximizes and capitalizes as much as they can in these last 5 overs. They'll try to get to at least 50 runs in these 5 overs, which will take them to 180. This time if it hit straight, once again beat the fielder at extra cover. 4 more runs, so 2 back-to-back boundaries. Himanshu now batting on 27 of 18. Appeal for leg before and the umpire has raised his finger. Himanshu is not happy with that. The fielder at fine leg chases. He's not aware that the umpire has raised his finger. Not listening to the call there on the field, but nevertheless the umpire has raised his finger for the LBW. Be interesting to take a look at this because Himanshu looked livid at that decision. How far across the stumps was he? Yes, he was definitely across his stumps. I'm sure when he takes a look back at the replay, Himanshu will agree that he was in front of his stumps. Hiten rather was objecting to that call more than Himanshu. Take another look at that from behind the stumps. There you go, the ball coming in, the batsman moves across. So when the ball hits him, he's perhaps standing in front of the leg stump. Take a look at that front horn as well. Just how far across the batsman had gone that resulted in the downfall there. Played that towards covers, just a single. Wonderfully played over the fielder at deep extra cover. 6 beautiful runs. What a good shot that was by 𝗃𝗃. Launched into it. And in the end, looked like he effortlessly just lobbed the ball over the fielder there. So 𝗃𝗏 has picked up a couple of wickets, but he's been very expensive. He's gone for 23 runs off his 1.5 overs. $145 for 4 now. 15 runs of this over already. 2 boundaries and a 6 coming off it. And last ball of the over coming up now. Another good shot down the ground by 𝗃𝗃. So very expensive over for DELL comes to an end. 16 overs bowled, 149 for 4. 𝗃𝗏 has gone for 27 runs in his 2 overs and picked up 2 wickets. 𝗃𝗃 batting really well, 21 of 9. He's been joined in the middle by 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗲, 1 of 1. Wide down the leg side. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 did really well to get an arm on that. Otherwise, that would have been 3 bonus runs. 150 up, courtesy that wide. 151 for 4 of just 16 overs. The DELL Technologies are struggling. MSGD are on their way to a big score. They'll be unhappy if they end up scoring anything less than, I think, 185 or 190. And that will be a difficult task for DELL to chase. Just off the pads, the fielder at fine leg runs across, but can't stop 2 runs. Short ball. It's hit towards the deep mid wicket. Just a single. 𝗃𝗃 24 of 11. Pawan on strike, 1 of 1. Once again down the leg. Collected beautifully by 𝗃𝗏𝗃. Dislodges the bails, but no appeal. It's beautiful to watch 𝗃𝗏𝗃 collect the ball down the leg, especially. Incredible wicketkeeper 𝗃𝗏𝗃. Great hands. Very quick off his feet as well. Nudged in the gap towards the leg side. Fielder at square leg runs in. They keep it down to 2. Very disappointed with that. You can see 𝗃𝗏𝗃 giving the fielder a glare because that ball was hit straight to him. That should not have been 2 runs. That is good aggressive running between the wickets by MSGD. Both Pawan and 𝗃𝗃 looking fresh. 𝗃𝗃 has just faced 11 balls. Pawan has just faced 2 balls. They're both new to the crease. They have the energy and the oxygen in their tanks. Once again, a bad bowling. Shocker does really well to get across and stop that. You can see the short fine leg fielder is almost on the edge. Length on the stumps, nudge towards point, easy single. It's been a very good over this for MSGD. They've barely taken a risk, barely broken a sweat. 9 runs scored already of 4 balls without a single risk being taken this over. This time, if hit it in the air, in the deep towards mid wicket, sure they'll run across. No, they decide against the second. I think 𝗃𝗃 not happy with his bat, signaling towards the pavilion, asking for a change in bat. The last ball of the 17th over coming up now. Sure, it's going to be Sydney who will come into the attack from the other end. Sydney and 𝗃𝗲 will finish the innings. Oh, that was fired outside the off stump. The umpire called for the wide. Hit in the air, in the gap. Ball goes over the boundary rope for another 4. Beautiful batting there for MSGD. 165 for 4 at the end of 17 overs. Well on their way towards the 200-run score now. Sydney into the bowling attack. Right arm over. Starts off with a fired delivery into the stumps. 𝗃𝗃 just chips it over mid-on for a single. 26 of 30 in 𝗃𝗃. What a good knock he's played for his team so far. Going at a strike rate of 200. Doesn't seem happy with the bat. He keeps signaling towards the dressing room. Pawan batting on 8 of 4 as well. He advances, hits it straight towards covers, who leaps and takes a good catch. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 has picked up that catch to go with his 2 wickets. Now has a catch to show for his efforts. That's a good take, jump at the right time. And that ends the day for Pawan with the bat. 166 for 5. Take a look at that on the replay. Ball was traveling there. So Diva not only had to time his jump to perfection, but also managed to hold on to that catch, which he did. So credit to him for pulling off a wonderful catch, breaking that partnership. Nitin, the new batter, out in the middle. 122 game for 1240 runs. Strike rate of 122. So he's no mug with the bat either, Nitin Gupta. And he's bowled him off the very first ball. Sydney is on a hat-trick. What a comeback this. 2 wickets back to back. That always creates pressure on the batting team. 166 for 6 at the moment. I dare say they have the runs on the board. But DELL coming back strongly with those 2 wickets. Arjun, the new batter, out in the middle. 37 matches for his 730 games. Very good average of 26 and a strike rate of 128. Oh, that was so close to being a hat-trick. The fielder at cover dove there. Just a tad bit too far away from him, the ball. Just a single added to the score, 167 for 6. Shaukat asking the fielder in the deep at third man to move across toward fine leg. Fielder from short fine leg moves towards short third man. Fielder at point being asked to move finer as well. The right-hander Hiten on strike, 26 of 30, and he's batting really well at the moment. Sydney. Beautiful stroke. The ball almost seemed like it was 4 runs all the way. The fielder in the deep covers, managed to move across and stop that. Very good stroke from Hiten, who continues to bat at a strike rate of 200. 28 of 14 balls. They make a change in the field. I think they missed the trick on that occasion. I think that fielder should have been in the covers region. I think that's 𝗃𝗏, who stayed at mid-wicket instead of covers. Raising his arm up in apology, 𝗃𝗏, because he was still moving across when the bowler was running in. Credit to the batter there on the last occasion, spotting that gap with perfection and hitting it there. Left arm, right arm often creates confusions on the cricket field for a bowling team. Advances down the pitch. Managed to run 2. So he then continues to bat at a strike rate of 200. The end of the 18th over, the score has moved on to 171. The last 2 overs of the innings coming up. I dare say MSGD will be very disappointed if they can't get to about 195 or 200 in this innings. They've batted really well so far. DELL Technologies, on the other hand, they will feel really happy if they're able to keep the score to around the 180 run score. Anything between 180 185 they'll feel content with. We have spoken in the past about how this is a batting surface, how the ball comes onto the bat. So Sridhar will be coming in to bowl to Arjun. Arjun, the left-hander, on strike. Batting on 1 of 1. Sridhar's bowling right arm over the wicket. Field on offer. Point, covers, mid-wicket and fine leg. The 4 fielders inside the circle. Deep third man, deep point, deep long off, deep mid-wicket and long on. 5 fielders outside. 𝗹𝗆 there, the fielder at cover. I think it was Diva again. Yes, once again raises his arm up in apology. The problem with that is that when you concede a single with the left and right, you have to keep making changes to the field. Diva walking across to the covers position from the mid-wicket position. Almost a 30-yard walk for him every time they take a single. I think he's hit on the knee to see that last effort. Outside half of the bat, but I think there's enough bat on that to take that in the deep for a single. Once again, left-hander comes on strike. I think for the first time in his innings, his strike rate has gone down to under 200, 31 of 16 now, striking at 194. So he and his team will be very happy with that. But anyway, we have Arjun on strike now on 2 of 2. Sridhar. In the air, launched towards long off, fielder settles under it and drops it over the boundary rope, I think. Thinks that Sydney again, who's not having a good day in the field. It's really disappointing from Sydney. A lot of experience behind him. A good calm head on his shoulders, but not able to hold on to that. It was a tough chance, no doubt, because his weight was taking him behind the rope at all times. That's 6 runs to Arjun. Delectable stroke that. There's a fielder in the deep at third man. Keeps it down to a single. 9 runs of the first 4 balls this over. Again, right-hander, left-hander. Arjun is off strike, but Hiten comes back on strike. Both of them looking in really good touch at the moment. Advances, pelts it down towards long off, and the fielder does terrifically well to stop that. I think that's Rafad Madana. Stops that ball from going over the boundary rope, keeps it down to a single. And Arjun now back on strike. Arjun Purushottam, elegant left-hander. Striking it well for MSGD. The score into the 180 is now 181 for 6. So they've already gotten 90 runs in the last 8.5 overs, MSGD. Sridhar abandoning his run-up. Important ball this, last ball of the 19th over. Tries to go big, not enough timing on that. Just a single towards deep covers. They end the over for 182 for 6. The last over will be bowled by Sydney. The end of 10 overs, the score was 91 for 2. They've managed to double the score already in 19 overs. So whatever they get in this over is all going to be bonus runs. Sydney will be mindful of that. It'll be interesting to see whether he chooses to attack or defend this over. Bowling right arm around the wicket. I think that's off the thigh pad for a single. The umpire signal leg by? Yes, he does. Hiten, 32 of 17. What a good knock he's played for his team. Lower down the order. Smashed it towards the cover fielder in the deep. Cannot stop that. A valiant effort from that fielder who ran in full throttle. Tried to use his boot to stop that, but unfortunately for him, that ball ricocheting off his leg over the boundary rope. For 4 more beautiful runs to Hiten, who once again regains a strike rate of 200. 36 now of 18 balls. Advances down the pitch. Plays and misses. Extra bounce on that occasion from Sydney. Shawkat collects. Umpire wants to take a look at the popping crease to see whether that was over the rope, over the line.
Okay.
This time hit powerfully inside half of the bat towards long on, just a single. The last 2 balls of the innings coming up now. 6 runs conceded this over of the first 4 balls. Sydney bowling to Arjun, right arm around the wicket. He's launched it straight over the bowler's head. Fielder at long on comes around, keeps it down to a single. Prasad has been really good there all day today. The last ball of the innings coming up now. Assuming that it's a legal ball. Hiten, who's played so well today, 37 of 20, will face the last ball of the innings. Launches into that, straight towards long on. Fielder comes under it, takes a good catch. So Sydney ends up with 3 wickets. I think that's Sridhar on the boundary rope, who takes his second catch of the day. Wonderful catching from Sridhar on the boundary rope. 189 the score. 190 is what DELL Technologies will chase when they come out to bat. They'll need 9.5 runs and over to win this game. It will be an uphill task, because this is above the par score on this ground. 175 typically is the par score here. But DELL have played their hand, restricting the score to 189. They've managed to pick wickets at crucial junctures. MSGD, on the other hand, will feel relatively happy with the score that they've managed to put on. They've had good knocks all the way. Hiten, Himanshu, later on in the innings, and then earlier in the innings, Virendra, and I think it was Ramesh, batted really well for them. Ramesh, 40 of 34. Virendra, 42 of 26. Himanshu, 27 of 19. Hiten, 37 of 21. And then a quick fire 11 runs for 7 balls from Arjun in the end. So good all-round effort from all the batters. DELL Technologies, they had to use a lot of bowling options today. They seem to be thin on their bowling attack. Sridhar, 4 overs for 25 runs. He bowled really well for no wickets. Sydney bowled his 4 overs for 31 runs, picked up 3 wickets. 3 wickets in his second spell. Sudhir Bassa, expensive, just 1 over, 13 runs. Hemant Kumar, 3 overs for 22 without a wicket. Prasad Madana was really expensive, 3 overs, 31 runs for no wickets. Venkat Rao, he picked up a wicket in second over, 2 overs, 20 for 1. Diva, 2 overs, 27. He picked up a couple of wickets as well, but was very expensive. Jude Solomon bowled the solitary 1 over and went for 16 runs for that over. So expensive statistics there for most bowlers. Sydney, Sridhar having good day for the ball. Restricting MSGD to 189. They'll come out and chase 190. Do they have the ability to score those runs? They definitely do. Will they manage to do it today? Only time will tell. We'll find out in about 10 minutes time when we return with the action. Welcome to the start of the second innings between Microsoft and Dell Technologies at the MVL Pure Corporate Championship Edition 2. This is a very important game, both teams vying for the top spot in the league table. MSGD have won all 4 of their games, Dell having lost their last match, 3 out of 4 victories for them. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 taking strike off the mark, the second ball of the innings. An appeal for run out there, interesting. The ball hit the batter and then ricocheted onto the stumps. Be very interesting to notice what happened there. Be a very unfortunate way for the batter to lose his wicket if he's short of his crease. Oh my God, that's touch and go. I think he's short. I think he's short of his crease. That's 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 running from the non-striker. He's short of his ground, 𝗀𝗶𝘃𝗵. He have only himself to blame because he was turning back and watching the wickets. Very unfortunate way to go. But that's the game of cricket. It kicks you in the back when you least expect it. You only have himself to blame, 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃. 339 runs in his 95 matches, but nothing to show for it today. You have to go back. His head between his shoulders. Disappointed and distraught. Was ball watching there. He had no business looking back. Let's take another look at that replay. See there, 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 had struck that. Confident, running across with the finger. Look at Jude there. He's turning behind constantly again. Turning behind. 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 running. There's no need for him to be looking behind at all. But he did. Bales were destroyed. Found short of his crease in the end. So not for one, not the ideal start for Dell Technologies. That brings 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗵 𝗏 to the center. 8,300 runs of his 444 matches, so a lot of experience. And Nitin Gupta, the ball in hand. A short ball on a length outside the off stump. 𝗵𝗏𝗃 rocks back and helps it on its way over the point fielder's head for a boundary. Good intent being shown by 𝗵𝗏𝗃 early on in the innings. Exactly what you need to do. You're chasing a score of 190. You have to stay positive and optimistic throughout the chase if you need to have any chance of getting these runs. The other thing is when you're chasing a score this high, it's very easy for you to lose your way and lose big in a game like this if you're not switched on throughout the chase. 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗵 𝗏 facing again. Very interesting stance from him. Almost baseball-like the way that he's taking up his strike. Wide call by the umpire down the leg side. Nitin Gupta, 115 wickets in his 122 matches at an economy of 6.5. He's a very good bowler as well. At time just beats the fielder at mid-wicket. Fielder at long on runs in but can't stop a single. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 back on strike. Really no blame attached to 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 on that run out. It was completely Solomon's fault all the way because he kept turning back looking at the fielder. No business doing that. Wonderfully launched. Within his range, and 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 decided to launch into it. beats the mid-on fielder. Ball goes over the boundary rope after a couple of bounces. So 10 runs, double figures now for Dell Technologies, 5 balls into the innings. Disconnect there between the bowler and the keeper. Bowler wanted the long on fielder to stay back. The keeper asking him to come back into the circle. And he's bowled him. An ugly hoik across the line from 𝘃𝗏𝗃. Played a little bit too early and lost his off stump in the way. Terrific start this to the game for MSGD. 2 wickets in the first over. 𝘃𝗏𝗃 and Solomon, the 2 batters dismissed. You lose a player like 𝘃𝗏𝗃. It's always disappointing to the batting team because 𝘃𝗏𝗃 is a left-hander. He has so much to offer. Take another look at that replay front on. See there the ball coming in. Gone through his shot way too early. Missed the line of the ball. Once you do that, no second line of defense there. Taps his bat on his head as he walks back through the pavilion. Nothing that he can do about it now. New batsman who walks out is 𝗙𝗃𝗏. 349 matches for 7,400 runs. Terrific stat for 𝗙𝗃𝗏 as well. But really, they need somebody now to play a big innings there. The end of the first over. 𝗵𝗁 𝗃𝗏𝗃 will now come into bowl. 367 matches for 425 wickets. Wonderful stats for him as well. Beats the batsman outside the off stump. Batsman wondering why that was not a wide. The umpire says because I don't think so. 𝗵𝗁 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏's best bowling effort, 6 for 19. What a game that would have been. 6 wickets for 19 runs. What a fabulous performance that was from 𝗵𝗁 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏. Anyway, comes back to Prasad. Prasad just lobs it in the air. Now there's protection in the deep in the form of a cover fielder with just a single. 𝗙𝗃𝗏 now will face strike for the first time today. Both of these batsmen have a lot of experience between them. They need to find a way to bat out, build a partnership here, and pull DELL out of this big hole that they've dug themselves into. 11 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in the first over. Wide call by the umpire. Interesting, taking a look at the field. The fielder at point is almost running in with the bowler. I understand that you take a start, but he's almost running in and finishing where I think the imaginary 20-yard circle would be, not the 30-yard circle. So you can see that he's starting at the 30-yard circle, and now he's rushing in. There you go. Almost at the 20-yard region. In the air again over the fielder at point. Yes, no, yes, no. Eventually they decide against the second. I think that was poor running. There was a 2 on there. 𝗙𝗏𝗃 off the mark with that effort. Now a change in field. That fielder immediately being brought inside the circle. I think the captain recognizing that that fielder was not the fastest. Look at that fielder at cover point. I'm amazed as to how much he's walking in. In the air again, towards the fielder in the deep at covers. Just another single. Cover fielder after move back a couple of yards. Once again a wide outside the off stump. Diva lets that one go. $15 for 2. So DELL Technologies have the run from the board, but they've lost too many wickets early on in this innings. Need a partnership here. Outside edge again. Flashing hard. Luckily for him, going on the bounce towards the fielder in the deep. Just a single added to the score. The MSGD team checking with the fielder in the deep if he's okay, because the ball awkwardly bounced into his face there. It seems like no damage was done. Last ball of the second over. Bowling to Prasad. Slow one, hit back to the bowler. I think that was a catching opportunity. Not sure, but I think he had lobbed it back to the bowler. A simple cotton bowl chance that goes begging. So Prasad lucky to survive that. We'll take a look at the replay just to confirm that. Did he hit it in the air? Have to take a look at that front on. Slower. Yes, that was definitely hit in the air, straight back to the bowler. The bowler unfortunately not able to hold on to that. Would have been the third blow for DELL Technologies if Pawan had managed to hold on. Virendra Singh now with the ball in hand after that beautiful innings of 42. Wonderful batting display from Virendra Singh, now with the ball in hand, right arm over the wicket. Starts off with a full toss. I think that will be called a no ball. Not sure. The umpire wants us to take another look at that. So way over the batsman's waist on that occasion. No ball. Virendra starts off not with the same elegance that he did when he had the bat in hand. And of the free hit, it's been hit beautifully over the point region. Just one bounce over the boundary rope. So Diva gets into the act. Taking full toll of that loose delivery from Virendra. Once again, a wide one. The batsman went chasing, no contact, and the umpire stretches his arms, calls it a wide. Lets this one go. This time that was well within the tram lines. drilled it in the gap between covers and point for a single in the deep. Just a single to 𝗃𝗏. Interesting to see the bowling attack that MSGD have. Asking the fielder to move, advance a little bit inside the boundary rope. Prasad Madana facing. And he's bowled him. Fantastic bowling that. Beaten him all ends up. Prasad moved neither forward nor back. Tried to play that from the crease with an open face of the bat. The ball hit the seam, moved away at pace, and got the top of the off stump. Beautiful bowling this from Virendra. Coming back strongly after that poor start to the over. We'll take another look at that in slow motion. You see there, ball is bowled on a length. Prasad neither moved forward nor back. Just got his bat down there to dry. The ball going between the gap between bat and pad and pegging back the off stump. So that's the end of the day for Prasad. And that brings the captain Sydney out to the middle. Fantastic stats from Sydney. 489 matches for his 13,397 runs. Phenomenal runs that at an average of 38, a strike rate of 175. He can walk into any team with those stats, Sydney, in the T20 format. But I dare say that DELL have dug themselves into a deep hole now. 3 wickets lost, just third over of the game. They need a partnership, and they need a partnership now. They need both of these players to bat out there for a long time if they need to have any chance of securing a victory in this game. MSGD on the other hand, will continue to be aggressive. They'll continue to want to pick wickets. They are not worried about the runs. They have enough runs in the bank to play with. So they'll continue to be aggressive and want to keep picking wickets. Starts off with a full toss. That's just guided by Sydney with an open face of the bat towards the point boundary. There's no chance of stopping that. The moment he hit it, that was 4. Some oohs and ahs on the field, but really, that was in the gap. There was a fielder in the deep at the covers region, but he did not move a muscle. That just flew like a bullet. So Virendra going for 11 runs this over, but he's picked up the wicket. The last ball of the over coming up, bowling to Sydney. Remember the first half of the inning, Sydney was bowling to Virendra. Virendra took full toll of anything loose that he got on offer from Sydney, especially down the legs. Played a couple of brilliant strokes. Remember that pull shot that he had hit, swiveling on one foot, and then also the flick of his legs towards the fine leg region. Both valuable strokes, both wonderful strokes to watch. Now it'll be Sydney's turn. '27 for 3 again. Hiten, the new bowler, into the attack. 67 wickets in 75 matches. Economy of 7.5. It's going to bowl to 𝗃𝗏. He's looked to bat sensibly so far. Yeah, you can see that. He's not trying to do anything fancy or aggressive. Maybe the ball just tickled his pads on the way because the umpire said that that was not a wide. Just getting the thigh pad on its way to the keeper. Hiten, left arm around the wicket. Short ball this time. 𝗃𝗏 tries to pull that in the gap, but unfortunately for him, that was not well hit. Straight to the fielder at square leg. advancing down the pitch, the front foot forward, played it in the gap towards mid wicket for a single. They'll need some common sense cricket here. They need to find a way to just neutralize the flow of wicket from one end. And Sydney have launched into that. That was a short ball on the leg stump, and Sydney did not need a second invitation. It's comfortably cleared the boundary over the square leg umpire. Well hit 6 runs there. So looks like Sydney is going to fight fire with fire. 34 now, but 3 wickets down. Bending his knee to generate the power from the pitch, using his arms, launching that ball over the square leg fielder for 6 valuable runs for DELL Technologies. This time flat and into the stump from Hiten. Sydney just respectfully placed that back to the bowler. This time he's played it in the air, in the deep, over the cover region. The ball is running away to the boundary rope for 4 more runs for Sydney. A good stroke considering the field that was on offer. He knew there was no risk there because the fielders were inside the circle. As long as he managed to beat the 30-yard circle, he had 4 runs to take for it. So the score moves on to 38 for 3 at the end of 4 overs. Sydney batting on 14 of 5. 𝗙𝗃 batting on 8 of 9. That one and hits it all the way over the cover region. I thought that was a 6, but the umpire has called it a boundary. Be interesting to take a look at that replay. My eyes are playing tricks on me there. The ball just bouncing short of the boundary rope. So 𝗙𝗃 going after that one with an offer, full right into his zone, and he did not need a second invitation to put that one away. The umpire signaling that there was a hat on the field that needed to be picked up. Once again full, once again played over the fielder at cover, once again a boundary. This is good aggressive batting from DELL Technologies. 𝗙𝗃 16 now of 11 balls. Really not trying to do anything fancy, just playing to the merit of the ball. It was full, it was outside off, it was in his half. He went after it. The fielder at covers was inside the 30-yard circle, almost standing in a short catching position there. Once he beat him, that was going to be 4 runs. Once again, drilled down the ground this time. Very well hit and very well fielded in the deep. I think that's Jitendra doing the fielding there, the cover boundary. Clean pickup, and a simple throw back to the bowler, keeping it down to a single. Sydney now will face for the first time. Short ball on a length, hit it towards the point fielder. No run on offer. Interesting field this really, because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fielders on the off side. There's 2 on the leg side. The 2 fielders in the deep covers and third man. Third man that's very square, almost near the point boundary. Once again, Sydney tries to pierce that gap. This is good, sensible cricket from Sydney as well, not throwing his bat at anything. Just playing to the merit of the bowling. Very, very important knock this from Sydney, the captain of the DELL Technologies team. Short ball once again, just opened the face of the bat. This time managed to beat the fielder at point. Ball is running away. Will he come back for the second? Yes, he does. 𝗃𝗏 didn't look too interested in the second, but there was a 2 on there all day long. So 2 runs to end the 5th over. The score has moved on to 49 for 3. Sydney batting on 16 of 8 and 𝗃𝗏 batting on 17 of 12. They've put together a partnership of 26 runs for 14 balls. They really need this to go for a long time if they need to have any chance in this match. So that over, costing 11 runs, 2 boundaries for the first 2 balls. Nitin Gupta comes back into the attack from over the wicket. Picked up a wicket in the first over, Nitin. Remember, he had bowled 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏. The slow one knocked his off stump back. Now he'll be bowling to 𝗃𝗏. Left arm over the wicket. Again a slow one. Wonderful change of pace. Terrific bowling from Nitin. Bowling that almost without a change in his bowling action. Batter was committed to the stroke, but credit to 𝗃𝗏 that he managed to adjust at the last second. Short ball outside the leg stump, and it's helped on its way over the fine leg boundary. Very good strokes from 𝗃𝗏. Once again playing to the merit of that ball. Not being overly aggressive. Above a poor ball, down the leg. Just helped it on its way for another boundary. The 50 up for DELL Technologies for that stroke. 53 for 3 now. The last over of the power play. In the air, once again in the gap. A fielder at the cover region has just been moved towards extra cover. Mid-off came in and the fielder in the deep went towards extra cover. That created the gap in the circle. There was a fielder there who would have lapped onto it. 54 for 3. Sydney now facing Nitin. Length ball, once again Sydney respectfully defends it to the cover fielder. Looks committed, Sydney. Looks like he wants to play a big one for his team. Not sure how things will pan out, but at the moment this is a very exciting game of cricket. He's hit it in the air, in the gap between the square leg and the mid-wicket region. The fielder at mid-wicket runs around. But that is really poor running though from the batters. It should have been 2. For some reason they decided to be content with a single. Maybe he thought when he hit it that that was going for 4. So you've got to run the first one hard at all times. That's the basics of the game. Finishes the over with the dot ball outside the off stump. Good finish that from Nitin, just conceding 6 runs of that over. Score moves on to 55 for 3 or 6 overs. in the air, just evading the fielder at point for another boundary. So Sydney dealing in boundary for the moment. Himanshu is into the attack. 436 matches for his 273 wickets. Driven to the fielder at cover, decides against the single. Hit it in the air this time. There's a fielder in the deep at covers, does the fielding, keeps it down to a single. The 5 runs of the first 4 balls of this over. Couple of important dot balls there. Every dot ball is worth its weight in gold for the MSGD team because that creates pressure on the batting team. Ď now will take strike, change in field, more strengthening to the offside field. A short cover, a cover both in position now to Ď. And he pulls it down the leg, he rocks back, hits it over square leg, but only for a single. It's good bowling from Himanshu, making the batsman do all the work. Sydney across the line, going for an ugly hoik. No run is on offer. The end of the over, just 6 runs coming off it. 7 overs bowled, 61 for 3. Good stroke again from Ď towards the square leg region. But again, good bowling as well. He then bowling to his field. Just getting a single on that occasion. Sydney facing his end now. Full toss. Go for the big one. On the bounce, in the deep. The fielder at mid-wicket keeps it down to a single. Sydney are checking with the umpire if that was a no ball. Umpire says no, you hit it below your waist. Ď this time has cut it to the short third man fielder with just a single. This is a really important phase of cricket. This partnership is building. 29 balls for their 41. They've not had a boundary for a long time. Sydney almost holding out there to the fielder in the deep at square leg. You can see there Nitin from long off yelling towards that fielder at square leg. Go for it, he says. Really, it's very difficult to do when the ball is hit that hard and is traveling so flat. Not sure if the fielder would have had any chance there. But this time, Ď moves across inside the line of the ball and helps the ball on its way over the square leg boundary. That was a very good piece of batting. You see the last 3 balls picked out that fielder in the deep at square leg with perfection. This time, Ď using his crease to good effect. It was the movement back and across that helped him hit that ball towards the fine leg region rather the square leg region and get himself a boundary in that process. This is good cat and mouse cricket. 8 runs now of the last 5 balls this over. Important ball this, the context of this innings. Hit it flat in the gap between square leg and mid wicket. Wonderful stroke from 𝗃𝗏. One to his right, one to his left. So 12 runs of that over, 73 for 3 now of 8 overs. Good comeback now from both batters. 𝗃𝗏 batting on 33 of 21, Sydney batting on 24 of 17. DELL really need this partnership to keep going for at least another 5 to 6 overs if they want to have a chance in this game. MSGD, on the other hand, will know that they are just a wicket away from setting the cat amongst the pigeons for the DELL Technologies team. Himanshu looks like he's going to come back into the attack. He's bowled is 1 over for 6 runs, Himanshu. Short of length outside the off stump. That's punched off the back foot towards the deep cover fielder. They run through for a single. Playing a miss outside the off stump. Has been signaling that that was the quicker one. Wonderfully hit towards the cover fielder. The cover fielder just overran the ball on that occasion. I think that's 𝗵𝗃𝗃 there in the deep. Just ran a little bit too far across, the ball beating him on his inside. Going over the boundary rope. A very good phase of cricket this for the DELL Technologies team. Once again, moves across his crease and hit the ball in the deep towards the square leg fielder. Luckily for the fielder, the misfield did not cost him anything. Ball still stayed where it was. Defended by Sydney, back to the bowler. Sydney this time hits it to the right of that fielder in the deep at square leg. That's been the most productive area for them this innings. Another boundary in that region. So DELL Technology is getting a move on with their scoring rate. 83 for 3 now of 9 overs. That over costing for 10 more runs. So 22 runs of the last 2 overs. Both batsmen getting a move on in terms of their scoring rate. Sydney scoring at 145 runs per 100 balls, 29 of 20. And 𝗃𝗏 going at 158 per 100 balls, 38 of 24. Important phase of this game now. MSGD. I think we'll want to come back strongly. They need a tight over here. Almost going at the par required run rate, just under. 9.2 the current run rate. The required run rate is 9.7. So into the bowling attack, we have 𝗵𝗁𝗃𝗏𝗃. 𝗵𝗁𝗃𝗏𝗃 has gone for 6 runs of his first over. No wickets yet to show for it. And he's going to bowl with a tight field on the offside. All 4 fielders inside the 30-yard circle on the offside for him. Bowls to his field. The batsman just plays that to cover. No run on offer. Hit in the air this time, but on the bounce towards the fielder at mid-off. Some excitement in the field, but no harm done. This time guided it towards the fielder at short third man for a single. Hits it in the air straight towards the fielder at covers. There was a catching opportunity for sure, but the fielder choosing not to attack. Nitin at long off can't believe it. We'll take another look at the replay just to confirm that the ball had gone beyond the boundary. That was fielded well, not sure if it hit the boundary rope. That looks good. What a good over this was from 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃. Just 2 runs conceded, kept the pressure all over long. 85 for 3 at the end of 10 overs, which means that DELL Technologies will need 105 runs in the last 10 overs to win this game. It's a mountain to climb for sure. It's not going to be easy. They need 20 more runs than what they've managed to score in the first 10 overs. We've seen some really good cricket from both teams. DELL Technologies lost a few early wickets this innings. 𝗬𝗏 was run out without facing a ball, courtesy some poor running from himself where he was ball watching. The ball ricocheted off his body onto the stumps and found him just short of his crease. 𝘃𝗏𝗃𝗏 played a big hit towards the mid-on A region, got himself a boundary, and then played an ugly looking shot over the mid-wicket region. Looked like he wanted to hit that, but no connection on that, and he lost his off stump. Prasad Madana came out. He played a scintillating boundary on the offside as well to start off his innings, but then lost his off stump to Virendra, and he played outside the line of a ball that just held its line and came back into him. Since then, Diva and Sydney have played some really good strokes, especially on the onside. Both of them have looked really, really good. Diva has looked good both on the onside and on the offside. Sydney also got his innings going courtesy of a drive on the point region. And he launched a 6 on the leg side over the square leg fielder. Managed to put together a partnership of sorts. Both of them have now batted for 44 deliveries, which is almost about 8 overs for the 62 runs. Right, they will need to reset talk between themselves, find a strategy to bat out another 5 to 6 overs so they can take this game deep. MSGD will definitely feel more confident or the more happier of the two sides at the halfway mark of the second innings. Managed to keep the runs down, 85 on the board. Remember, MSGD had scored 91 themselves in their first overs, in their first 10 overs, so they've managed to keep DELL to under 6 runs of that score. They've also managed to pick up 1 extra wicket. They'd lost 2 wickets, whereas DELL has lost 3. So MSGD definitely the happier of the two sides. The second half of the innings is about to begin. It looks like it's going to be Abhishek with the ball in hand, bowling to Sydney. Starts off with a length ball on the off stump. Sydney pushes it back past the cover fielder for a single. Sydney batting on 31 of 22. Ďeľa batting on 39 of 29. A few dot deliveries for Ďeľa in that last over. I think he played out 4 dot balls in that last over. DELL Technologies can ill afford that. They need to keep rotating the strike when they're not getting the boundaries. Ďeľa looks like a calm and seasoned customer. He's just settling himself, taking his time. Goes big on the offside, outside half of the bat. The fielder in the deep runs around, but can't stop the ball from going over the boundary rope. So good start, good tempo to the second half of this innings for DELL Technologies. 90 now on the board, 90 for 3. Terrific outfield, especially with the sun shining up in the sky. The ball just seems to zip along the surface. There's no stopping a well-hit ball here. It's again full outside the off stump, drilled it, and unfortunately straight to the fielder at covers. Dot ball for Abhishek. Huge gap on the leg side. There's nobody patrolling the fine leg region, nobody between the square leg fielder and the mid-wicket fence as well. This time he's managed to hit it over the cover fielder towards the deep extra cover region, just a single on offer. Here the DELL team very excited about Ďeľa's batting. He's now batting on 44 of 32 balls. That brings Sydney back on strike, 31 of 22. Short ball on a length, just opened the face of the bat. Beautifully played by Sydney. No chance for any fielder there on the ground to get to that. Just using the pace of the bowler. The bowler has his hands up, but really there was no chance for anybody to get to that. That was brilliantly played by Sydney. Just opened the face of the bat and guided it all along the boundary. So 95 for 3 with that stroke. And last ball of the 11th over coming up. 10 runs of this over so far. The mammoth score that they are chasing, even a 10-run and over, is just a par over because they're chasing 10.5 runs and over. Really, unless they get a big over, which goes for 20, MSGD will continue to stay in control of this game. Beautifully bowled. Just duck past the bowler, and they run through for a single. 96 for 3 at the end of 11 overs. Sydney now batting on 36 of 24. Strike rate of 150. Ďeľa batting on 44 of 32. Strike rate of 137. Pawan comes back into this attack. He's bowled 2 overs for 8 runs. Remember, he just went for 2 runs of his previous over. Pawan.
11 overs 96, required 94, 95 required 9 overs.
Hit it in the air between the two fielders, long on and long off. The long off fielder runs around, keeps that down to a single. Short ball on a length. That's hit, but only on the bounce to the fielder at covers. No runs on offer. Drilled past the fielder at covers towards the fielder in the deep. Once again, just a single. This is another really good over from Pawan. There's 2 runs conceded off a 4 ball so far this over. Length ball on the legs. That is wonderfully nudged by Sydney towards the fielder at fine leg, and he comes back for a second run. We wanted to get it a little more finer. That's almost difficult to do. 100 up for DELL Technologies for that stroke. The 100 comes up in just the 12th over. Sydney now 39 of 27, the last ball of the 12th over coming up. Looks like they've decided to play Pawan responsibly. Just 4 runs of this over so far, the last ball of the over coming up. Sydney on strike. Once again, beautifully played. The fielder at short third man makes a mess of a straightforward fielding effort. The ball bursts through his arms and his legs and goes beyond the boundary rope. So 4 very important runs, because that was a tight over from Pawan. In the end, costing them 8 runs. The score moves on to 104 for 3. Abhishek to Diva, drills it down towards long off for a single. Abhishek has gone for 22 runs of the first 2 overs. So he's been expensive today. Sydney plays that towards long on for another single. The interesting thing about this batting effort is that both of these batters are playing sensible cricket. They're not taking any undue risks, just playing to the merit of the ball. There will be some point in time where they'll have to become a little more aggressive as the run rate will keep climbing up. It's currently at about 10.8 runs and over needed. Hit that in the air. The fielder at covers takes that catch. 𝗃𝗃 takes that catch to dismiss 𝗃𝗏. He's gone for 46 of 36 balls. Sydney looks distraught. That was a big wicket for MSGD. His partnership of 82 coming to an end. Wonderful knock from 𝗃𝗏. Just seemed like he ran out of gas in the end. Could not manage to clear that fielder at covers. He himself had taken a very good catch in that same position. In fact, a very similar catch to the catch that dismissed him. Take another look at that catching effort. Abhishek bowling it full, outside off stump, and 𝗃𝗃 jumps up, times his jump to perfection and plucks that out of the air. A very good catch from 𝗃𝗃. So Abhishek is finally rewarded for his bowling. New batter in the middle. 𝗃𝗃, 1330 runs in his 170 matches, average 15, strike rate 108. He needs to find a way to keep the strike rotating and get Sydney back on the strike. You can see Sydney expressing his frustration. He's not happy with that. He wanted 𝗃𝗃 to get some bat on that so that he could have gotten the boundary on the leg side. You can see there's just the square leg fielder and then a huge gap all the way up to short third man. Almost a 120-degree area for the batter to score there. Sam drills it again towards covers. They run through a single. Very important over this. Just 4 runs conceded, a wicket picked. Crucial ball this. Can Sydney maximize of the last ball of this over? No, he can't. Inside edge, going towards square leg. Actually, nobody realized that the ball was in that region. So a little too late to start off. Sudhir running aggressively. Ran the third run. So 3 runs to finish that over. 7 runs coming off it. The required rate now climbing to 11.4 runs and over. $79 runs needed of 42 balls, 11.29 and over needed. Is this a little too difficult to Sydney, to get for Sydney? We don't know, only time will tell. Sydney is now back on strike. 47 of 30. Looks like into the bowling. Starts off with a dot ball. Every dot ball is worth its weight in gold for the team MSGD here. They know that every dot ball builds pressure. Pressure brings wickets. Pawan bowling his last over. gone full into the stumps. Sydney can only play that towards long on for a single. Have to give some credit to Sudhir. He's looking to run aggressively between the wickets. It's the least that he can do for his team. He's cleared his front foot and hit it once again towards long on for a single. This will get very difficult for DELL unless runs are coming from both ends. If only one batter is going to do all of the scoring, it's going to get increasingly difficult for them. 13 overs. Remember, Microsoft had gone to 130 in 15 overs. So again, that's well played by Sydney, but unable to beat that fielder at point. Another dot ball. Pawan has been exceptional today with the ball in hand. Managed to hit good areas consistently. He's made it really difficult for the batsman to chase him. The only boundary that he may have conceded may have been courtesy that misfield at the short third man region. Otherwise, I think Pawan has not gone for any other runs. Yes, that's the only boundary that he's conceded. And then he's bowled 2 wides. The last ball of the 14th over coming up now. 113 for 4. This game is definitely getting firmer into the MSGD team's grasp. Oops. The 4th time that has happened today. The bowler losing the ball on his run-up. Last ball of the 14th. Sydney batting on 48 of 34. Short ball played once again towards point. Runs through for a single. If there are 2 on there, yes there is, but Sydney says no. Maybe he wants to retain strike. The end of the over. 49 of 35 for Sydney. 114 for 4. 76 now needed of 36. Sydney eyeing the field, trying to identify where his gaps are. His biggest gap is definitely behind the wickets between the square leg and the short third man region. He's helped it on its way towards the next side boundary. 50 comes up for Sydney with that stroke. 53 of just 36 balls. Striking at over 150 runs per 100 balls, Sydney. He's playing the captain's knock that his team needed. Is that going to be enough? I'm not sure whether or not that will be enough. They are still chasing a mammoth score. 72 still needed of 35 balls. So they need more than 2 runs a ball for the rest of the innings. Beaten outside the off stump on that occasion, Sydney. That's what tends to happen when you're just looking for your boundary options. Occasionally you'll play and miss. The repercussion is that the scoring rate keeps climbing up every time you get a dot ball. It's phenomenal how quickly the run rate can climb up towards the end of an innings. Once again, beautifully timed between the gap at mid-wicket and mid-on. The fielder there in the deep doing a good job keeping that down to 2. So Sydney looking like he's running out of steam. His running is no longer as aggressive as it was up top in the innings. 53 of 36 now for Sydney. Remember, he's also picked up 3 wickets with his bowling effort today. Outside edge. Enough of an edge on that to beat the fielder at short third man for a boundary. They say you need to get the right amount of the edge on the ball when you want a boundary. On that occasion, Sydney managed to do just that. Outside half of the bat. Wanted to play that in the point region, going towards the third man region instead. That's almost what you would call an educated edge from the batter, because although he was not in perfect control, that went in the area that he intended to hit it. 122 now. 24 rather. He's launched into that. What a big shot that is! Over the square leg region. The big 6. 130 for 4 now. Wow. Would you believe me if I said that this is exactly where MSGD were at this point in time in their innings? 130 for 4. At the end of their 15 overs, they'll still have a ball to go. But wow, Sydney brought this match alive with those big hits this over. 16 runs coming already. Required rate still over 11.6 runs an over. Played that past the bowler for another single. 131 for 4 at the end of 15. The last 5 overs is where this game will be decided. 60 runs, 59 runs to get in 30 balls. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 comes into the attack. Left arm slow bowler. What an interesting match we have for you here. The battle between the top 2 teams. I expected no lesser of a fight between these 2 teams than what we have on display. Sydney, the key wicket for DELL Technologies and for MSGD. If MSGD manage to pick him, they have this game in their bag. DELL, on the other hand, will hope that Sydney can keep batting the way that he's been batting for the rest of the game. Just 5 more overs left from their point of view. 40 balls for 65 for Sydney, and chasing a high pressure situation, 162 the strike rate. Launches into that one, goes over the long on fielder. Have he managed to connect? Yes, he has! Beats that fielder for 6 beautiful runs. What a shot that is from Sydney. The courage and the conviction to go long when you have a fielder in the deep and your team is banking on you. You have to give it to Sydney. Wonderful stroke that. Shot this time from the bowler, correcting in length. Sydney punches it, cuts it, runs back for the second run, and he managed to finish that well. So phenomenal batting from Sydney. Great composure, great temperament, and great stamina also. Remember, he's batted there now for 42 balls. It's not easy so late in the inning for you to run those 2s. Somebody chirping, I think, from behind the stumps. Sydney walking out just before 𝗃𝗃 was going to bowl that. Launched it over the cover fielder this time. The fielder running back. Will he catch it? No, he won't. The fielder in the deep does stop it. Keeps it down to a single. Wonderful fielding that in the deep. Both teams giving it everything now. That was really good work. I think it's Virendra there in the deep at covers, who ran across and stopped that ball from going over the boundary rope. Umpire wants to take a look at the boundary. We'll take a closer look. Oh, that was comfortably over the boundary. Let's take another look at that, whether the ball has carried over the rope. Boundary signaled. That was 4 beautiful runs from Sydney. Once again, launched it over the side screen. A huge hit from Sydney. What a big over this is for DELL Technologies. Superb batting from Sydney now. He's taking him to the cleaners. Into his 80s with that stroke. 84 of just 45 balls in a chase. Wow. 149 for 4 now. 41 needed of 26. This is now DELL Technologies' game. They can just manage to keep the run rate going, and he's lost it! He hit it straight to the fielder at point. Sydney can't believe it. The keeper consoles the batter. A wonderful innings from Sydney comes to an end. Is that the nail in the coffin for DELL Technologies? Only time will tell. Word of appreciation for Sydney though. Hangs his head down, walks back towards the pavilion. Sydney. Brilliant innings from him. 149 for 4 the score. Looks like it's going to be Sridhar who walks out to bat. Nitin takes that catch at point to dismiss Sydney. 84 of 46, 186 the strike rate. Phenomenal batting effort this from Sydney. Think that's a wide down the leg side to start off proceedings. Yes, the umpire agrees. So 150 up. 150 up with that extra. DELL Technologies now need 40 of 25 balls. This is anybody's game for the taking. Outside the off stump, just late cut it past the keeper. They're going to run back for the second. Yes, they will. Sridhar raises his arm up, says 2 is enough. Maybe there would have been 3 there, who knows? But right now they're happy with 2. 38 runs needed now of 4 overs. 9.5 runs per over needed to win this game for DELL Technologies. But MSGD have come back big time courtesy that wicket. That's the temperament. Sydney just needed to stay out there for a little while longer after having scored all of those runs that over. He had hit it in for 18 runs of his first 4 balls. Previous over had also gone for 17 runs. So all Sydney needed to do is bat out there for a little while longer. Unfortunately for DELL Technologies, he wasn't able to do that. So his innings comes to an end. It looks like Himanshu is going to come back into the attack. Himanshu has bowled very economically today. He's gone for just 16 runs in his 2 overs. He's going to bowl from over the wicket to Sridhar. In fact, not to Sridhar, he's bowling to Sudhir. Single taken to the cover fielder. Moves across his stumps, hits it towards square leg. There's a call from the pavilion to run for 2. Sudhir says no. This game has gotten really exciting now. 36 of 22 needed. Really, it's a matter of nerves. Whichever team manages to hold on to their nerves from here. Outside the off stump, beaten. Can ill afford any dot balls now. With 𝗍𝗪 plays and misses outside the off stump. Once again, hit it powerfully, but only back to the bowler. So 2 dot balls. Creates immense pressure on the batting team. 36 runs needed now of 20. Punched it off the back foot. Once again, a dot ball. No calling there between the 2 batters. Sudhir is upset that he could not pick the gap. Just 3 or 6. Last ball of the 17th over coming up. What an over this has been from Himanshu under pressure. Coming back, just conceding. The end of the over called by the umpire, just 2 runs conceded. So they're losing a wicket in the process. Stumped by the wicketkeeper. The last ball of that over. Unfortunately though for DELL Technologies, he had eaten up 4 balls that over. That brings Sridhar back on strike. So 𝗬𝗏𝗪 not having a good day with the bat. Just 3 runs for 7 balls for him. In the context of the match, of the most important phase of the game, 18 balls now, 36 left to get. Hiten will continue to bowl. Varun is the new batter. 115 matches for a 1,222 runs for Varun. Average of 14, strike rate of over 100. Sridhar goes for it. He hits the mid-wicket region, or only a single. .35 needed of 17. Over 12 runs and over needed now for the rest of this game. 17 balls left. Goes for the switch hit, just gets the single towards the point fielder. Fancy cricket that. Sridhar back on strike. Cuts it powerfully. Past the fielder at point. Will they run the second? Yes, they will on this occasion. They managed to come back, finish the second run. Think that was tight, especially with Sridhar just plopping his bat into the crease. I think he needs to drag his bat if he wants to be safe next time round. Just 4 runs of the first 3 balls though. 32 needed now of 15. Tries to launch into that. Gets an inside half of the bat, just a single towards the fielder at mid-wicket. You can see the DELL team is trying to egg their batters on. They really want them to push hard, want them to push for 2 for everything. It's very difficult to do out there in the middle. Walks across the stumps, picks it off towards the leg side. The fielder at square leg will run around and keep it down to 2. That is good improvisation from Varun, but in the end just getting a 2 for it. The last ball of the 18th over now coming up. 29 needed of 13. Once again walks across his stumps, helps the ball on its way towards the fine leg boundary. The fielder at square leg runs around but hopelessly gives up the chase. The ball goes over the boundary rope. 165 for 6 at the end of 18 overs. They're still fighting DELL. 25 needed of 12. Beautifully played between the gap at square leg and fine leg for 4 runs coming in. The first ball of this over from Himanshu. 21 needed now of 11. Every run being counted down, every run being cheered from the pavilion. What presence of mind that was from Sridhar rather. Word of advice coming in from the Longon region. Himanshu has now conceded 22 of 3.1. Sridhar facing. Launches into that between Longon and mid-wicket. Then the ball carries over the boundary. Oh, what a good shot that is from Sridhar. Throws his hair back in style. Attitude on display from the DELL Technologies team there. 15 now needed of 10 balls. How this game has swung again. Sridhar facing Himanshu. 10 runs of the last 2 balls. Outside the off stump. Bowled it fast. That's what they need. MSGD really need a couple of dot balls here to create that pressure. 15 runs of 9 balls. Short ball on the legs. Pushing for 2. Will they get it? I think the umpire wants to take a look at the short run at the keeper's end. Wonderful batting there from DELL Technologies. After that short run, Sridhar still managed a way to get that bat down in time. Let's take another look at that on the replay. And see there, opening the face of the bat with deliberate effort. Just guiding it past the keeper. This wonderful cricket from Sridhar, having the presence of mind so late in the innings. He's batting now on 22 of 10. 10 runs needed, 7 balls to get them in. Wow, this match has gone down to the wire. Who's going to hold on to their nerves? This is the money ball. This is the ball that is going to matter the most in this game. If DELL can manage to get a boundary of this ball, I dare say it is their game. If MSGD can manage to pick up a wicket here. Short ball on a length, rocked back, hit towards the square leg fielder. I think he's happy with a single. I'm not sure why. I think there was 2 on there. But Sridhar deciding that he was comfortable with a single. The end of the over, 9 runs needed of the last over now for victory. Is anybody betting on a super over here? Exhilarating cricket this. Exactly what we expected with these 2 heavyweights. DELL needing 9 runs to win this game of the last over. 8 runs will get us to a super over. This has been set up courtesy 2 brilliant innings up the order. First from Diva, got to 44 runs. And then from Sydney, their captain, who played a captain's knock, got them to a score, got them to within a distance where the score seemed chaseable. When he got out, remember, 5 overs left, 30 runs to get. 3 overs, 36 runs to get. It's the time when he lost Sydney. But Sridhar has come out and he's batted really well. 23 of 11. Nitin Gupta bowling his last over of the innings. Sridhar plays and the umpire raises his finger. What an anti-climax this is for the game. Wonderful cricket from MSGD. Good catch from the wicketkeeper as well. It's never easy. So many things are going on in the middle. You need to keep your calm, stay composed. Sridhar, how badly he must be ruining that opportunity to run a second run on that last ball of the previous over. He chose to run the single, which brought him back on strike. Last 5 balls of the innings coming up. 𝗏𝗏 has been dismissed. The new batter out in the middle is 𝗚𝚅. Flow ball! And he's beaten for pace. Incredible sight this. The batsman checking if that was a no ball. The umpire says no, that was dipping slowly down to you. The umpire checking for a no ball. Not a no ball, comfortably below the waist height. So DELL have imploded here. 9 runs needed of the last 4 balls. 𝗚𝚅 missing out on an easy full toss on that occasion. But I say easy with a pinch of salt because there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Outside half of the bat this time. I think that ball has managed to beat the fielder at third man and goes over the boundary rope for 4. Wow! Everything is happening out there in the middle. 5 runs needed now of the last 3 balls. That is actually poor cricket from MSGD. Bowlers bowling left arm over the stumps. They need to have their third man fielder back. That's the basics of the game. They're still choosing to go with the same field. Third man fielder remains inside the circle. Three balls to go, 5 runs to get. 𝗚𝚅 plays that towards the cover fielder. They run across for a single. 2 balls left, 4 to get. Wow. This is edge of your seat stuff. A thriller in the making for everybody. 4 runs needed of 2 balls. My money is on a super over here. Bowler asking the fielder at the deep to come in. He's okay to concede the single but not the boundary. And he walked across his stumps and bowled himself. The shot was on. You can understand him taking that chance because any bat on that, he may have gotten 4 runs for it. But that's high risk, high reward. Unfortunately, this time the risk did not pay off for the batting team. But you have to give it to Nitin. He's keeping his calm. He's picked up 2 wickets in this over. Wonderful bowling from Nitin this. A last ball of this match will decide the fate of this game. 4 runs needed to win this game. 3 runs needed to tie it. Varun played a good knock. 7 runs for 4 balls, but just fell short at the right time for his team. Nitin now coming into bowl. Change in field. Square leg comes inside the circle towards mid wicket, rather towards square leg. The fielder that goes back is third man, because that's the region where I think they are most susceptible. 𝗏𝗏 facing. Goes for the big one. Can't connect well enough. Just a single. But that ends the game. What an exciting match we've seen here. DELL Technology is falling short by 2 runs at the end. 187 for 8. Chasing a target of 190. MSGD managed to pull this game off. What a wonderful performance from them, just defending 9 runs of the last over. Managed to keep their calm, keep their composure. Nitin came back, picked up 2 important wickets that over. Every run of consequence in this match, every run of consequence. Remember that short run in the previous over, how expensive did that turn out to be for them? Wow, what a game we've witnessed. So in the end, MSGD come on top with 5 victories out of 5 games. And DELL, unfortunately, have to come second best at the end of this match. Nitin with me. Nitin, what an exciting game of cricket. You people made it very exciting for us.
It
Walk me
is.
through what was going on in your mind in the last over.
Nothing much. We knew what we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it simple on the off stump and slower was the key. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, very lucky. I think the second ball was a full toss. The batsman
It
missed
was.
out on that one.
It's not easy to play a flight as well as a slower ball.
Mm-hmm.
People, the batsman under pressure is always in the double mind.
Mm.
So it worked for me.
Mm. Yeah, I see the slow one for you is a specialty. Even the ball that got 𝗃𝗏𝗃 out in the first over, I think was a brilliantly bowled, almost like a leg cutter that moved across and got him out. So a word on that innings from Sydney, because I think he single-handedly was taking the game away from you.
He was pretty calm.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what the job what was at his hand. And he played brilliantly. I think one bad shot and he was quite unlucky. Otherwise, he would have pulled it through for sure.
Yeah, I think that was the first bat shot that he played from my memory, because I can't remember any other catching opportunity that he had presented in the entire innings.
That is true.
Yeah. Unlucky for him, but lucky for you. MSGD now have won 5 out of 5. That's quite an achievement.
It is, and we're looking forward to win nothing less more than a platinum. So let's hope for it.
Awesome. So now the next game is coming up, Qualcomm. I think if Qualcomm manages to win that game, then DELL will come number 4, which means then there will be a rematch in the semi-finals between you and DELL.
Wow. Okay.
Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it, absolutely.
All right. It was a pleasure watching you guys play today. Wonderful bowling performance. I really enjoyed your slower ones today. Wonderful work. Keep it up. Excited to see how you do in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
all the best.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Congratulations on winning that trophy.
Thank you.
But I'm sure that you have mixed emotions right now. A little disappointed with the loss.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say disappointed. We fought really well, and I'm really proud of what the team has done. Not just me, but everybody fought. But it's okay. We'll take the drawbacks from this and look forward for the next game.
Some changes in the team today. Sunil missed out.
Sunil missed out, and we also missed out on 𝗙𝗏, the opener.
Yeah, 𝗙𝗏 as well.
These explosive batsmen have missed out today, and that kind of they even contribute in bowling. So that's kind of missed today. But it's okay. We still go forward for the next game.
All right, a word on your batting innings. I thought that this was the best innings that I've seen so far in this tournament. I think you were batting brilliantly. You were playing everything on its merit, not a fall shot. I think throughout the innings, I can't recall one fall shot that you had played except for the one that you got out to.
Thank you so much.
So what was going on in your mind?
Well, my strategy was simple. I know I've played here over the years for almost about 6 to 7 years now. And Venkat has made a brilliant wicket. And we know chasing 190 was not a big target for us. And I know I have to wait for that 1 over, and I made use of it. So it's totally a satisfying innings, I would say.
Right. I think 2 big overs back to back, which got you back into this game. In fact, you had the upper hand, I would say, until the last over. Nitin came back and bowled a terrific last over. Right. Word on that over for Nitin.
He did. That, I mean, it's not an easy job to bowl, 6 of 9, and coming into that pressure, I really congratulate him what he done.
Right. Your bowling innings as well. You're not leaving anything else for anybody to do. 3 wickets with the ball in hand.
Well, that's how I could contribute for the team, leading from the front as a captain, and I couldn't be happier doing this more.
All right. So now, if Qualcomm wins the next game, then that means that you people finish 4. If you finish 4, that means that you'll play them again in the semi-finals. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's revenge time, so we look forward to that.
All right. Just a last word on the organizing. How have you liked this tournament? How have you enjoyed the facilities that are to your disposal this tournament?
I think Venkat is one guy. Now, the entire Hyderabad, what I've played, we earlier played with our personal team, United 11 at 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏, and I put forward into my company saying that no, if you want the best tournament, go for MVL, and Venkat has made exceptionally well. So I'm really happy the way he organized the tournament.
Okay, awesome. That's good to hear. That's music to my ears. Last but not least, any upcoming strategies for the semi-final? Will you have your full squad back when you're playing the next game?
Yes, we are going to have a full squad back, and having said, he said that 25th and 26th are going to be back-to-back semi-finals and finals.
Right.
So we need to be there, and we look forward to lift the trophy.
All right. All the best. I wish you the best of luck. Have a
Thank
good
you
one.
so much.